Hey everyone, thank you so much for being here today. My name is Denise. I'm also known as heywigsister on Instagram and Facebook. Today I'm here to bring you a Tip Tuesday video. I'm here to cut bangs into a wig and I'm going to take you along with me. The wig that I'm using is a budget-friendly piece that I got from Lemon Wigs. I just recently reviewed this wig and I will put a link to that review in the description. I am excited to start working with this one and make it my own, and I want to take you guys with me every step of the way as an encouragement to you as you find your way in the wig journey. So if you want to know more about this and you want to watch me cut bangs into this one, then stick around. My disclaimer, big disclaimer, big bold all caps disclaimer is that I am not a hairstylist. I am not trained in any way, shape, or form on modifying hair. I am just a girl who wears wigs and is finding her own way in the wig journey just like you are. I did not come at this with any kind of experience. So when you watch me do things with wigs, you really need to remind yourself that if Denise can do it, I can do it. Because seriously, guys, I'm not good with hair. But I love wearing wigs. I love the confidence that wigs bring me. I love how much fun they can be, and I love changing it up. And in order to be the most successful in the wig wearing journey, learning how to do a few things with wigs is going to be really helpful for you, just like it has been for me, which is why I do these Tip Tuesdays and why I continue to bring you guys videos of encouragement. So today I am going to cut a small little bang in this wig. So I'm not going to talk too much about the wig, but I'll just remind you, or for those of you who didn't see my review, this wig was sent to me by a retailer called Lemon Wigs. They have a website and they also sell on Amazon. And it is between $20 and $30, depending on where you go. If you buy it on Amazon on Prime, last time I checked, it was about $25. I think you can get it at their website for about $20, but then I think you probably have to pay for shipping. So, you know, I'll just put whatever relevant links you need in the description if you want to go check this wig out. But watch my full review because I talk all about it. I show you the cap and I talk a little bit about how I see some differences in this one compared to a $300 wig, you know, the more expensive name brand synthetic wigs. But I will tell you guys, I've heard from at least 20 wig sisters at this point who have purchased a piece from Lemon Wigs, and quite a few of them purchased this one and they love it. So I think it will be a good $20 or $30 well spent if you are looking for a fun wig that you can wear long or in updos, which I will do a video on. All right, let's get going on this. So when I reviewed it, I mentioned that the front, for me, it was the main concern about this piece was this very front here. Because it doesn't have a lace front, it kind of looks obvious to me that it's just not a natural hairline. I don't think it's terrible, and I think if you are going someplace where your hair isn't going to blow around, maybe you're going out to dinner or something, I really think you can wear it this way. But for me to be the most comfortable, I think if I put a little bit of a bang here, it will disguise that transition and it will just make it look a lot more natural. There are lots of ways that you can cut bangs into a wig, and there are tons of YouTube videos out there showing you how to do this. So this isn't as much a tutorial as it is me just doing this with you guys. I'm really committed to educating you guys, and sometimes it's more about encouragement than education. In this case, I don't feel qualified to really educate you on how to cut bangs. So I'm just gonna have you watch me do it and I'll talk you through what I'm doing and why I'm doing it this way. But I will really strongly encourage you guys to watch other videos, see other techniques, and know that I am not an expert at all. And my technique may make a real hairstylist cringe. That's okay. These are my wigs. I'm playing with them. I'm fully accepting responsibility if I mess one up. And I think a budget-friendly wig like this is a great one to practice on before you take some scissors to a $300 wig. So let's do this. I'm going to turn my camera a little bit so that you can see I need to look in my bathroom mirror. I'm not going to be able to do this looking into this little screen here. So hang on while I turn it. Okay, so the first thing I have to do is figure out where I want my bangs. And what's really great about this piece is it already has a template for me. So it definitely has some shorter bangs and it goes into more of a longer fringe. That's going to make it a lot easier for me. So the first thing I want to do is I just want to, and I don't, start small, you guys. If you're ever going to attempt this, start very cautiously. I'm not going to do a big thick bang. I don't want it to be like all the way to here. I'm not going to touch any of this longer hair. As a matter of fact, just to make sure I don't touch any of that longer hair, you can get clips and clip hair away from, so you don't accidentally grab it. But this is long enough that I can just tuck it and I can keep that out of my way. So then I'm just going to take, now normally you would take a wide tooth comb when you comb synthetic wigs. I'm going to use this narrow one because I need to get these perfectly straight and all of the fibers flat. And so then I'm going to do this and I'm just going to look and see where are kind of the sides. Now, because this is going to have a little bit of a shorter front and then go into a fringe, I'm not as concerned about it being completely even because it's not going to look, it's going to be sort of a messy, fringy cut. I think that's probably a good place for me to start. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to twist it once, and I've watched a lot of videos talk about this. So hopefully this will all work out fine. And I'm going to cut it long. I don't want to run the risk of it springing back up when I'm done and being too short. So I'm going to cut it to the middle of my nose. So right to the middle of my nose, that's going to give me maybe even a little bit further than the middle of my nose. That's going to give it plenty of room to spring back up so that it will not be too short. And I want to make sure my scissors are even. And then here we go. That's it. Okay. So now let's look at that. See how much that sprung up, you guys? It was like 3/4 of the way down my nose and it sprung way up. So you absolutely want to be very, very careful that you cut it much longer than you think you need it, so that when that happens, you don't have to cry. And I will also say that the bangs are perfectly straight on this one. So when I cut them, they're straight. They're not going to spring up that much. If you are cutting bangs into a wig that has a wave, any kind of a wave pattern or curl, be so incredibly careful because those are going to spring back a lot more than this just did. Now, they're still too long. They're poking me in the eye. But because I'm not experienced with this, what I want to do is I want to do some cleanup with my, what I call a razor comb. It's essentially a razor with a handle. And just shorten some of the ones over here. I could take a scissors and do that, but this allows me to not have a blunt cut. And I actually, you know what, you guys, I need to change this blade. It's gotten a little dull. Hold on, let me change the blade. I use this thing all the time, and I have many, many videos where I show you how to use this. I will link this in the description. This is, to me, a #1 must-have for every wig wearer. Every single wig wearer should have something like this. It just helps you cut a little fringe in if you do an updo. And when you're not super experienced with wigs, see, this is cutting so much smoother now. And I'm doing it over my sink. It's so much more forgiving than if you were to use a scissors and wind up with a super blunt cut. Now, again, I do not pretend to be an expert, and so if you've got stylist experience, and I'm just kind of going at the very tippy, and I'm just making it sort of uneven and messy so it will lay without it being really blunt. And it gives it just like little bitty layers, which I think will help it to look a little bit more natural. I was saying, if you are experienced and you're looking at me right now thinking, what in the world is this girl doing? I've already warned you guys that I'm not an expert at this. But, you know, sometimes it gets really expensive if you constantly have to pay a stylist to do little things like this. And I think because this is a budget-friendly piece, I'm not as afraid to make a mistake. And quite honestly, this can become a headband wig if I mess this up. I think it would be great with a headband in an updo, so I'm not worried about that at all. But you proceed with caution if you're going to mimic anything that I'm showing you here, knowing that I am not the expert. See how I'm doing that just little pieces at a time, and these are getting shorter and shorter so that they don't poke me in the eye, but I don't want it to be a blunt cut. You may want this to be a blunt cut and be like perfectly straight across bangs. In that case, you would do something, you would use a different technique. You would probably take a scissors and make sure that you're getting it more blunt. I personally am not typically a bang wearer, and I'm cutting bangs into this one so that I can disguise this front and will give me an opportunity to wear it. It's getting a lot better, you guys. It's not poking me in the eyes nearly as much. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. It would just be really impossible for me to do this in my phone. And I just pulled my eyelash off. I have fake eyelashes on for the first time today, and I just pulled it off. We're gonna plow on. That is funny. All right, this is looking a little bit better. I'm gonna go grab a hot air brush for a second, and then I'm gonna show you how you can take a hot air brush and smooth this out a little bit. So hang on while I grab that. All right, guys. Can you believe I did that just a second ago? I can. Oh, well, whatever. All right, so now I have a hot air brush, and I have a video where I talk about hot air brushes and how they can be super valuable with wigs. This is my Hot Tools hot air brush, and I will put a link in the description for you. This is the small one, the smallest one that they sell. I have it in a bigger size as well, but this one's great because it works really well with bangs. This is a heat-friendly wig, but you could use this on a regular synthetic as well. So if you cut bangs into a regular synthetic and you want to maybe give them a little bit of lift or, you know, smooth them out or whatever, then you can do that with this. I see a piece that I want to get now that I just did that, so let me. And for me, because I'm inexperienced with this, this is going to be a work in progress for me. It's not like I'm going to do it in 5 seconds. So let's turn this on. And I just want to give the bangs just a little bit of lift. And make sure that they're smooth in the front here, because this came with sort of that center part and they were longer, so it parted like this, and I want to make sure that it's going to lay right. They're still a little bit too long. Still want to make sure I don't get any of this other hair in there. Now, you could do this on a mannequin head, but you would be very much at risk of cutting them too short. I really think this is one thing you want to do on your own head, because normally the mannequin heads are smaller than our heads, unless you have a really expensive lifelike one, and you're going to wind up making them too short. All right, I think we're getting close. really close, you guys. I still have a few pieces. I can feel them poking me in the eye. If you have experience with this and you have something to share in the comments so that people can learn from you, please feel free to do that. If you know of great videos that show how to do this, that you've used that have helped you a lot, please share that as well. I do have links blocked right now because of all the spam comments that we get on our videos. And so just note, if you include a link in your comment, I need to approve that before it will show up. So you'll think that, where did my comment go? It's not there. It went into a holding tank for me to review and approve. So I'll try to make sure I get to that really quickly. So if you do share a link and some tips, I will make sure that gets out there as fast as I possibly can. All right, you guys, look at that. I still feel like I have a couple of pieces that are just a little bit too long, but at this point, I think I've done all that I can do with the razor, and I need to use a straight scissors, and I cannot do that in my phone. I need to be very close to the mirror so I don't cut my eye or something. But what I will do is I will get up really close. I'll just sort of mimic it for you. I'll get really close, and then these pieces that I can see, I'll try to do one. It's so hard to see in my camera. And then I'll just trim those off with my straight scissors. And then that should be it. So let me do that really quickly, and then I'll wrap this up for you guys. All right, everyone, I am all done, and this is the finished product. I am so happy with this. I seriously love, love, love the way this turned out. So one more tip for you guys. Now, one of the things I'm noticing is this one has a beautiful sweep and this one doesn't have as much of one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this hot air brush and just direct these fibers over here away from the face. And in order to get it to set, you have to wait till it cools. But how cute is this? This will probably take have to do it a few more times, and I might get my bigger hot air brush to do that. But the beautiful thing about these heat-friendly fibers is you can do whatever you want. You guys, this turned out so well. So don't be afraid to play with your wigs. Don't go willy-nilly crazy, because a lot of this stuff takes a lot of practice. I mean, people who style hair for a living and cut hair for a living, I mean, they go through, I don't know, thousands of hours, of hundreds and hundreds just to get through school, but then all of the ongoing education. So this is not something you're going to be excellent at the first time, but I got to tell you guys a secret. This is like only the second time I've ever done something like this. So it isn't impossible. And I want to encourage you guys, if you have wigs that you're not wearing, if you purchased a wig like this, a budget-friendly piece, and the front, because it doesn't have a lace front, just doesn't look realistic to you, cut in a little bit of a bang and see if that makes all the difference. I didn't touch any of this hair at all, just this part. Someone with a lot of experience might do something here to give it a more gradual sort of I don't know how it kind of goes into it. I don't know that much about doing hair, so this is the best I can do right now, but super cute. And guys, I mean, this is going to be one you can wear in half up, half down. I will do a video showing some styling options with this one. So if you're looking for a budget-friendly wig, I think this one's great. So anyway, that's all I have for you guys. Thanks for watching. I hope this helped and was an encouragement to you. I will talk to you soon.